The inauguration of Guatemala's new president, Bernardo Arévalo, has been delayed by disputes in parliament. Lawmakers from his party have been forced to register as independents. The anti-corruption campaigner has endured a bumpy road to power since his election victory in August. Guatemala's Attorney General has repeatedly tried to stop him from taking office in what the president-elect has called a coup attempt. And for more on this, let's go straight to our Latin America correspondent, Nicole Ris, who is in Guatemala City for us. Nicole, the president is due to be inaugurated today, but his party just got suspended from Congress. What does this mean?
Well, actually, I'm right here where this inauguration should take place, right behind in this building. And at the moment, nothing is moving forward due to this delay. This has partly to do with the suspension of El Movimiento Semilla. This basically, for the party members, means that they cannot take part in debates in Congress, that they cannot influence important debates, they can only vote. So this is a big issue. This is one ball that is rolling right now. The other problem is that outgoing members of Congress usually need to make sure that the newcomers, the incoming government, gets their credentials. This happens in a ceremony before the inauguration. This should have happened this morning. It hasn't. And this is why there is an interruption of this ceremony. We don't know for how long. We don't know if it just stops and something else will happen. But obviously this puts in jeopardy this whole inauguration today, because he needs to be inaugurated in a certain amount of time as well. An option that has been talked about before in the connection with the rumors of a coup d'etat was, for example, that the Congress could actually say that there will be an interim president. And then, of course, here we would see massive protests. But at the moment, there's a lot of uncertainty and this blockage of the ceremony. So we have to hang in here and see what happens. In the meantime, we're also hearing unconfirmed reports of colleagues from press that don't have access to Congress right now. They're asking for help so they can get in to actually see what's happening there. So at the moment, a lot of uncertainty and a bit of disorder, I'm afraid.
Okay, well, good to have you so close to the action and keeping abreast of what the president-elect will be doing. But listen, you spoke to him yesterday where he told you that corruption was at the heart of efforts to keep him out of power. I want our viewers to have a listen now.
The people who oppose us, who have tried and continue to try to stop us from coming to power and to prevent a government committed to change from succeeding, are from precisely that criminal political class, which is embedded in the political system and the institutions of the state. Those of them that still remain have realized that the victory given to us by the people of Guatemala is a mandate for a future free of corruption, which implies that the end of a business model based on corruption has arrived.
So some ambitious plans were laid out there, it sounded like to me. What do you think his chances are of achieving them?
Well, from what we see right now and from what we've seen in the past few months with all the intents to hinder him from taking over, I think it's only gonna continue, really. He is up against a very strong alliance of conservative politicians, the established political class that has been ruling the country for so many years, that is being blamed for demolishing democracy in Guatemala. So this is only going to be further more difficult if he actually happens to take over. And he also doesn't have the majority in Congress. So it is a bit of a difficult situation for him. But yesterday when I spoke to him, he obviously said that he is optimistic that he can make alliances and that he can actually, through alliances, also kind of, tackle the corruption, which is the main problem here in Guatemala. Everybody you talk to here says we need to get rid of corruption so other things work. For example, healthcare, for example, education. So this is the most important issue. But for now, there is no new president, really. We still have to wait if he actually is being able to take over today.
And just briefly, in about 30 seconds, you talked to the president-elect. Any other things that stood out for you?
Well, one of his first actions that he pointed out is that he's going to ask the Attorney General that you mentioned earlier to step down. He says, in his own words, there is no need for this woman anymore, Consuelo Porras. So this is his first action, and he seemed quite confident that he actually can do that. But the other question is if this person actually will also appear in his office to take this order from him. So lots of things still swinging here.
A lot of things swinging, a lot of moving pieces. And thank you, Nicole Ris, for putting them all together for us. Nicole Ris in Guatemala.